Hey guys, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 20th. It is 1:56 p.m. right now. This is the one-on-one mentoring session with Daniel. I'm just going to set up the room real quick and we'll get started shortly. So for this session, it's a private one-on-one, so I'm not really going to be answering questions from the public. It doesn't seem like Daniel has too many questions for today, so I will be looking at the chat to see if there's any extra questions that may relate to what we're covering. So if you guys do have questions, I'll try to get to them. I can't say for sure if I'll get to them. I typically don't during these sessions, but since Daniel doesn't have anything specific, if you guys have anything to add on, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'll keep the chat open so that I can take a look at it in case I see anything there that can carry on with what we're covering. So all right, guys, I'm gonna send this link over to Daniel, and we should be able to get started shortly. All right. Link is sent out right there. Just gonna wait for him to hop in and then we will get started in a few. So got that link sent out right here as well. All right, so just waiting for Daniel to hop in. Hey Daniel, can you hear me?
Hey Sean, how you doing, man?
No, good, bro. How are you?
Good.
Awesome, man. Good to finally meet you.
Yeah, you see, my brother was always like, "Yeah, Sean reminds me of you." I was like, "Oh yeah,
Bro, you like just seeing you remind me of your brother. I was like,
yeah."
I've never seen you
That's
before. I
what
was like, yeah, you guys are
that's what
like,
everyone says. We look a lot alike. He's just a little bit bigger than me.
yeah, you look like younger, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. So what's up, man? How you been?
I've been good. I just been, I got two restaurants up here. Been running that and trying to get this trading to work out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your brother's telling me. What kind of restaurants do you own?
We have Hawaiian restaurants up here, so we do like half of it's like poke and the other half is like Hawaiian barbecue.
Oh, nice. That's cool, dude. Yeah, I always thought about
Yeah.
opening a restaurant, but I heard it's so much
No,
work.
don't
It's
don't
not
do
worth.
it.
It's not worth. Yeah, not worth
It's not worth it, bro.
it.
It's like the time spent and like the energy into it. The returns are never as good as what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and I'm trying to do the most minimal work as possible for the
Yeah,
most
that's
most
what I'm
money.
trying to hop on and be like you.
Yeah, no, once you get the routine down, it's easy, bro. I make it look easy. It's not as easy as it looks, but I make it look easy every day. So hopefully
Yeah,
it gets to that point, with time.
I'm getting more and more consistent. So I mean, so I hopped on with you in January. I'm on my fourth retry, so I keep on just like being profitable enough to get retries. So like pretty much bought the challenge right away, only because like for me, it feels like if I'm doing the trial, I don't have that stress that I need to learn.
Yeah, you need some skin in the game because if you don't have
Yeah,
skin in the
exactly.
game, you're not gonna take it seriously. And the funny thing,
Yeah.
it's funny because you mentioned that, and my brother, he's in the same boat, bro. Like he's my brother, and he has a direct connection to me. But that dude's been getting free retries for like the past 4 months. He finally got funded. I just saw him last weekend,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's waiting for his funded account. But yeah, it's better to do that than to just fail
Hmm.
accounts and buy another one and fail. It's better
Yeah.
because at least you know that you're there. It's not like you're fucking up like completely. You're like
Yeah, exactly.
you're still on track. So no, it's good to hear about
Yeah.
that you're once you get funded and then it's gonna take a lot of stress off because I feel like right now when you're in the challenge phase, it's
Hmm.
you feel like the stress to pass it. You feel like you need to pass or you need to get it over with. Um,
Yeah.
but once you're done with it, dude, it's smooth sailing because you don't have to trade every day. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about catching up. It's really just taking the trade when it comes.
Yeah. Just take one or two a day and you're good.
Yeah, exactly. Like how I do.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, yeah, is there any specific questions that you have? I know you said that, we kind of covered stuff in the previous mentoring sessions, which is fine. That's normal. That usually happens with a lot of people.
Yeah. I feel like yesterday you're on for pretty long and then I was like watching, I was like, He answered a lot of questions that I had yesterday. Um, for my problem is like pretty much just trying to be. I think what I see the most is like since I've been watching you for a while, I've been learning like too many of the strategies, I guess. And
Mhm.
then like I see them, and then I take them, even though I probably shouldn't be using so many strategies at the same time. I guess you know.
Yeah, yeah, you get FOMO because you see like something like today, for example, there's like no entries, and then
Hmm.
some like you see like a V1 variation that you don't typically apply, or for some
Hmm.
people they don't apply it, and then they just hop in because they feel like they need to take a trade for that day.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd probably recommend just sticking to like one or two. Like for me on the live sessions, I'm typically
Mhm.
looking at like liquidity pushes, and
Yeah.
variations. I usually don't even look at high level momentum scalp. I mean, I look at them, but it's usually not a good entry. Like when I see a high level momentum scalp, I'm like,
Hmm.
iffy. And even though it's a good entry, I don't take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I recommend, even myself, I only look at like two strategies, maybe two, maybe three.
Hmm.
Cool thing with the variations and the liquidity push is that they go hand in hand. So like if you have a
Yeah.
strategy that ties together, it's easy because you're looking at the same thing. You're looking for a direction to hit, or you're looking
Hmm.
for tracement and then correction back in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Um, I don't even know what to ask you right now.
Yeah, no, if there's any specific, well, I mean, you probably have a strategy down. If you have any like entries that you tried to take in the past and, if you lost any entries and you're not sure like why you lost them, if you want
Hmm.
any of those, we can. You probably don't have any right now because you seem pretty consistent. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been trying out this new, like, I don't know if you guys ever did it. It's kind of like your breakout strategy, but I've just been taking it only for 100 pips every morning, pretty much at like 6:29. And I see pretty much like if the futures are super down and everything looks kind of down, I just take it for 100 pips and it almost hits every single day. Like either if it's in like a positive direction or negative direction. Is that something that you guys look at ever? Or
Yeah, so I don't know if you're around. That used to be like one of the main strategies that we applied. So before the liquidity push, there was actually the
hmm.
breakout strategy. There was the original breakout. Let me see if I can
Hmm.
put it here. Yeah, the 1 minute breakout. So it's exactly what you just mentioned. So you look for entry after market opens. So like literally when the market opens
Hmm.
at 6:30, you're looking for confirmation, like you mentioned, some sort of bias. So we look
Hmm.
for bias, whether it's bullish, bearish, with retail sentiment, fundamentals, technicals. If everything's bullish, then your price is probably going to push in that direction. Uh,
Hmm.
so we look for something like that. We use momentum. So like typically the only indicators that we really use would be like the momentum. So we know we're trading.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and then you're just looking for a strong candle. So like, let me see if I can find one from today. I don't know what the bias was, but generally the bias doesn't even matter, to be honest. Like, I just added the bias because we would lose, like, for example, I'll show you this one right here. This one looks like it'd be a bit risky. So, because the market did move kind of funky this morning.
Yeah. So like on that candle right there, like 6:29, I
Mhm.
saw that like going down and then futures were down like 200. So like at literally 2 seconds before market open, I took a 100 pip short right there
Oh yeah, yeah. So you take it before the first candle. Yeah. So
before the first candle.
yeah, usually for us, we would take it
Hmm.
after the first candle because we just want to see a confirmation that price is going to continue in that direction. So
Gotcha.
this strategy was really good during like COVID and post-COVID because the volatility was so high. Like
Hmm.
you could literally like take a trade and it'll just spike, in one direction or the other.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, 100 pips is good because the volatility is not as crazy. But back then, volatility was so high that you go for
Hmm.
like, the full 500 pips and it would hit. Like it's going to go 500 one way or the other. Um,
Dang.
so, like for example, right here we have this is going to be the first candle. This actually would have been the entry for the breakout. So it'd be something like this, and then we do like a 50-50. Obviously, the same strategy can be used. You just got to adjust the TP stop loss because market's not as crazy as it was during COVID.
Hmm.
Like COVID, it's crazy. Did you trade during COVID or no?
No, I was trading crypto futures before I joined you.
Mhm.
So I did okay doing that, but it's like trading Forex where I'm chasing the momentum all day. So it's like when there's momentum and movement, that's like I'm on. So you're always looking at the charts, and I really hated that.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Like yeah, with cryptos, it's so unpredictable. Like you have to be on like all at all times. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I like about US 30 because like you just focus on morning, because that's when volatility is high.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like basically the same concept. Obviously, like this is how the breakout would be. You have bearish momentum. I don't know what the sentiment was, but we'll just assume that it was bearish.
Yeah.
It is optional, so it's not really necessary, but it does help. Third requirement, you want to confirm momentum. You have a sell signal right here. Fourth requirement, you want to confirm a strong candle in the direction of momentum. So you got a strong red candle right here. It's going in the direction of momentum, which is a sell. And then you
Hmm.
insert on the close of that candle. Usually it's only the first 5 minutes because if it doesn't happen within the first 5 minutes, market's probably just going to range for a while. So this would be
Yeah.
right here. Trade would run for a bit. Obviously, you can see the big pullback right there.
Yeah.
But eventually, it does head to the downside, like right there. Like we can probably find a better example because I like there was like certain days where we wouldn't apply this. Let me see if there was red flags here too.
I think the volatility used to be that crazy during COVID that you could take 500 pips every morning.
Oh yeah, literally, you just take 500 pips and you just set and forget it. Like you don't even like you just take it and then just let it run, and they would just go
Yeah.
your TP. Because it would like literally on open, it would spike like 1,000 pips. So you'd go like 500 on the first candle and then 500
Jesus.
after. Like
Yeah.
we used to have a daily strategy too,
Hmm.
where we would just catch the 10-minute momentum. Like say for example, like if you go to the 10-minute chart. I mean, this strategy still works. I still see a lot of people apply it. I don't do it anymore, but I still see a lot of people still do it. So it didn't come up today, or actually, no, it would come up right here. So basically, the first candle after open, so market would have opened right here. You just take
Yeah.
the first momentum. Like it doesn't matter where, because usually if you catch momentum, it'll just keep pushing that direction. So for the daily
Hmm.
entry, you get on the 10-minute chart, you get a sell signal there, and then you just ride that down for 1,500 pips. Like not even 500 pips, we had 1,500 pips, and that thing was
Jesus.
like within like less than an hour. Now
How
it's
many
like
lots were you guys use on that though?
it would be smaller because it's a bigger move.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
use like we probably use like maybe 50 lots or 100 lots. We would equate it
Okay.
to like 1 to 2%. So like
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
This would be like a 1 day trade, and the trade would like hit almost every day. The win rate was crazy for that one. Like let's see on Friday if it was playing out. Like we have so many old strategies that work during high volatility. They still
Hmm.
work. It's just you have to adjust the TP stop loss and stuff.
Gotcha.
Like this right here, the cutoff would be 9 o'clock. If the trade didn't come by 9, then you're just gonna pass on that day. Let me see if there's another one here. Um, yeah, and you'd have to confirm the trend too. Like, so this trend was bearish, you wouldn't take the trade. Or some people, what they would do is they would like you get a buy signal here, but the trend's bearish. They would just wait for
Hmm.
it to come back down, and then they would take it the opposite way, like back in the correction of price.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but this strategy was like this, and the breakout was everybody's favorite. The problem with the breakout is that a lot of people had trouble identifying, what a strong candle was, and that would always
Hmm.
pull up. But yeah, same strategy. It's just you'd wait for actual momentum here. I don't think there's any entries here. I was trying to find one that was like that met criteria, but it
I think
doesn't.
the thing about using the 10 minute is like for me, it's like I like to know if I win now,
Oh yeah,
not sit.
yeah. No, like this strategy, you would have to hold on to it for like the whole session. So it's kind of
Oh,
like.
gotcha.
And it would stress me out too, because I'm just like you. I want to know right away. That's why I prefer the breakout or liquidity. So like back
Hmm.
to what I was saying with the breakout over here. Let me see if we find another one. Let's go back to let's just go to Friday from last week. It's just a weird market now because we're like in a range, so it's hard to get like those moves that happen like right away. It's
Hmm.
typically when you're looking for moves, it's like price will range for a bit, and you don't really get those confirmations that you're looking for. Um, so there was nothing here on Friday because there's no confirmation there. Let's look at Thursday. And the problem with this here is that people would always enter late, and then it would like it defeat the whole purpose of the strategy.
Hmm.
So let me see. I'll just show you. I think there's one here on Thursday. Okay, so market open over here at 6:30. Okay, so for 6:30 right here, you can see, and we basically cut it off at 6:35. So again, you're just looking for momentum. Like, so for example, here you have a sell momentum. So you're
Mhm.
looking for a strong red candle. So this is the 630 candle right here. It's a green candle, so it doesn't meet criteria. This one right here, I wouldn't consider this a strong candle because the wick is like so big. Like whenever you get a candle that has a big wick on either side, it's usually an indecisive candle. Also, the wick on the bottom is like almost the same size as the body. So I wouldn't consider this strong. This would be an iffy candle or a weak candle, in my opinion.
Okay.
So you just keep waiting for it for another, you'd wait for a strong red candle, basically. You don't get a strong red candle here. And then right here, you get a buy signal. And this is where it would be kind of like, it would throw people off because, you know, I don't know if you would consider this a strong candle. Some people would consider this a strong candle or a moderate candle. For me personally, I wouldn't because the wick on top is like the same size as the body. So
Yeah.
it's
So
kind of
pullbacks quite a bit.
exactly, yeah. Like you want something where like the body is like clearly bigger than the wick. So this right here would be the momentum, but I wouldn't have entered right here. But some people would actually enter on this candle here. Let's see this next candle. Like even this one right here, I wouldn't take it because it looks kind of weak.
Mhm.
On top and the body. This right
I
here.
can see why this strategy would be hard in like real time if you're not really familiar with it.
Yeah, if you're not quick enough, it's hard because like, you know, some people would enter like right here. Then people who would enter from right there, they'd probably win the trade. And then other people would get upset, like, you know, why did that person enter there and why deny it? And it's hard for me to explain because I can't tell people what's strong and what's not strong because see, like that would have hit there. And then
Yeah.
and even though we have a cutoff at the first 5 minutes, people would still enter like right here, like at this, because this next candle is actually a good candle. This one right here.
Gotcha.
So some people would enter there, and then people would be upset because some people would enter here and they'll be winning, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, Sean said you can't enter after 5 minutes," and then other people like, "Yeah, I know, but they saw the strong candle, they would have entered." So everyone's like on different levels. You know, people that understand the strategy, they get it. When people that don't get it, they just get upset, and then there's just like everyone's arguing in the chat. So
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a very subjective strategy. That's why I don't really teach it anymore, but it still works. Like you said, you know, you go for 100 pips, but you could just go smaller. Like instead of 50-50, you can go 30-30. The reason why a lot of people like this strategy is because it was a 1-to-1. So like if you know, it's a high win rate, and if you were to win or to lose, it would balance out over throughout the week.
Yeah.
If market volatility is low, instead of doing 50-50, you can even go 25-25, or even I wouldn't go anything lower than 20-20. I think 20-20 would be the lowest. Because if you go too small of a stop loss,
Just get stopped out sometimes before it goes back up.
Yeah, especially because the spread's kind of crazy. Like sometimes the spread's like, you know, over 200 pips or points, and then at that point you go any drawdown, you're like automatically stopped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's something that you want to look at, but yeah, the breakout strategy, that's like another example right there. I would look at one more example from Wednesday. Let's see, Wednesday over here.
I guess I'm just trying to look at like the easiest strategies from the get-go. It seems like liquidity is like really fast, breakouts fast, and if I can just be done within the first 20 minutes, I'm like good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want to do the breakout and liquidity, you could do that. Just split up your risk, like just lower your lot size. So you can take both trades because then they'll typically balance out. Like one will cover the other, or the other one will. You just have two wins sometimes, so that's add up over time. Yeah, here's another one right here. I think 630. So again, this would be the liquidity here. Sell momentum, strong red candle right here. The thing with this though, like, so there's like so many nuances to the breakout because like you'd have to follow like the red flags, basically avoid any of the horizontal lines. Another thing, this candle is huge, so I would have personally skipped it, but then certain people would still take it. Like they would take it. I wouldn't go for the 500 pips though, because 500 pips just seems like it's too far out. See, like if you're going for that big of a range, you're probably gonna get stopped out. Also, there's a sessions down here. So typically you want to get out before price gets near this point, because if price does get near that point, it opens up the opportunity for manipulation. So if you did something smaller, like say 25, I mean, it still wouldn't hit, but this is something that you'd have to look out for. So you can see the breakout strategy. It's a good strategy if you have like a system down, but it's kind of hard to have a set system because you don't really know like what are like what can happen. Like I wouldn't expect like these crazy candles to come up like this.
Yeah.
Because the market was moving kind of slow, I think on Wednesday. So let's see, this is Wednesday the 14th. See, I don't even know if I traded that day. 14th. I actually did trade that day, but I took a buy. So I think the bias for this day was probably bullish because obviously I only trade in the direction of bias. So
Mhm.
probably would have avoided this sell anyways to begin with.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it's if it's something that you want to practice, you can practice. But there's like so many different nuances. Like what you can do is if you want to practice it, basically take note of the ones that you're confused about, and then if we have another
Mhm.
session in the future, we can go over those specific trades. Because
Okay.
I can like explain like why I wouldn't take a certain trade. Most of the time, it's because bias, and then also certain red flags, which could be sessions, news price, opening price, candles too big. Like I mentioned here, this candle is like way too big.
Yeah.
So I would have just skipped that because that would have been a huge red flag for me. Yeah, because if you're going, even if you're going for 500 pips, I think that's like the biggest red flag there. Like if you were to set up your TP stop loss and you see something like that, odds of this retracing back to fill the candle is obviously very likely. That's pretty much what happened. Price filled it.
When when you apply like liquidity, do you enter in manually every time?
For the
I know
most part,
sometimes you put in a buy stop, but I feel like a lot of times you just click it. Do you have like buy? But sometimes when the price is moving so fast, when you click, is it like you enter kind of late in there?
sometimes, yeah, sometimes, but usually not. Like, because my
Okay.
finger's literally on the button. So like
Yeah.
as soon as I see it get even near it, like say for example, um, it's hard to show like when time has passed, but when you see the real candle, like see how this kind of wicks off that area.
Yeah.
Say for example, I see price come in and get like really close to it. Like say this is like liquidity right here. When I see price getting really close to it, sometimes I enter early, like a split second early or a second early. Like if I see getting really close to it and I know it's going to hit or I have a good feel,
Mhm.
I just enter right away. So I get in like right there, like right on.
Gotcha.
So it's really about timing, but yeah,
Mhm.
sometimes a situation like this, like say liquidity was down here and it already touched it and I just missed it because I was answering a question or something on the live. Then at that point, then I'll set my sell stop right there to catch it. So if it comes back down, it fills in and it goes straight to CP.
Okay.
But it's like it's hard to explain because it's like you have to be really fast. Like you have to like literally like if you want to set a pending order, you can't think. Like sometimes you'll see like I won't even respond to anybody or I'll just like be really focused on the screen during the live because I'm just
Yeah.
looking at the numbers on the on my MC4 because I just go by the whole numbers. You know how MC4 has like the decimals?
Mhm.
Like say for example, right now price is like 34,035 and 80 cents. I would just round it off to like the whole number. So I would just put my sell stop at like 34,036 or 34,035, and I just cut off the whole number, the decimals.
Yeah.
It's just like quick thinking because it's like you got to do that, and then you also got to set up your TP. Because just unfortunately you can't have like the quick trade manager. That'd be nice. Like if you could set a pending order and then have the TP set up already, but it's like it's not possible from like my understanding. There's probably a tool,
Yeah.
but I'm not familiar with it.
Do you ever enter the liquidity without a TP and then just like drag your stop into like profit as it moves up, or do you always have it just straight set?
I use the quick trade manager, so it's almost always set because I just have it on there already. I've
Yeah.
before though in the past, I've done that a lot during like COVID because like in COVID, if you get a break like a liquidity push, like I
Mhm.
actually created the liquidity strategy during COVID because like it would hit liquidity and it would just keep going. Like that's the best case scenario. Um, so I would do that during high volatility times, but
Okay.
now Sorry, we got like the landscapers like fucking pressure washing everything right now.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Your
anyways.
dog's not used to new spot yet, huh?
Oh no, yeah. And then there's like so much like there's so many windows everywhere now. So they're just looking out and they see everything. And they
Yeah.
just whenever they see anything like people outside or they hear something, they just trip out. They're not used to usually well, at our last place. We had windows, but they were high, so they couldn't look outside them. But now
Hmm.
they're just looking out the window like all the time. So they see anything and they trip out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dog is the same.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I totally lost track of what I was saying.
I was just talking about like the TP if on like open-ended TP on let's say liquidity push, just putting a stop loss only. But you said during like high um, volatility, you used to do that because it would just keep pushing.
Yeah. So in the past, I would do that because you can like catch liquidity and it'll just keep dropping because like back then, um, I used to mark liquidity on like the 1 minute and 5 minute time frame. So like it would hit liquidity
Hmm.
on the one and then just knock down to the next level and the next level and the next level. But the market that we're in now is it's really rangy. Like I'm pretty sure you've noticed it. Like you could even see it from like the charts here. Price doesn't typically keep pushing. Like it'll go from a range, break out, and then go back into a range.
Yeah.
So it's safer to just get out rather than get stuck. Like for example, like right here, right? Like you could have like had liquidity somewhere around here. And then if you went for the 100 pips, you'd be great. You'd be solid, you'd be in and out super quick. It doesn't just continue like it normally did. Like back during COVID and post-COVID, when Trump was president, like dude, like he would say something and it like hits liquidity and it just keeps going and going and going. Unfortunately, the market's not as easy anymore like that. So I think personally now, well, from my experience, it's better just get in and out and just wait for that next opportunity to hop back in. So
Gotcha.
I don't really use that. I actually used to use a trailing stop. So I would do that. I would either do it manually or I'd have a trailing stop. And I would just move my stop loss every time it would pull back. Like for example, right here, like say I was to enter a short position, like right here, right? And I would just write it down. Like I would just move my stop loss in profit. And then every time it swung back up, like I'd turn on my high low indicator right here. And then I would just move my stop loss in profit whenever it went to another swing high, stop loss down, swing high, stop loss down. And I'll just keep doing that over and over again. Um,
Gotcha.
but stuff like this doesn't happen very often. Like this, which happened this morning, I wasn't even expecting price to drop like this because we had such a bullish bias, and then it
Yeah.
just kept dropping until mid session until we got off the live 8 o'clock, and then price just corrected like basically all the way back up.
Did it close? It closed down 240 day.
Oh, did it the fundamentals?
Yeah. 245.
Dang, yeah. Yeah, it kept dropping. This is all manipulation. I expect price to go up because tomorrow we have Fed speaking. We have Fed speaking all week. So we have Powell speaking tomorrow at 7, and then he's testifying, and then we have the other Fed members that are going to speak after him. So I'm expecting them to have good things to say because the market's kind of beat up right now, and I'm expecting them to have good things to say about like moving forward.
Hmm.
And the market needs to be dropped because they can't just keep pushing price up. Like you can't keep getting pumped, higher and higher. Like right here on the hourly chart, you can see prices kind of going down slightly. I think price is just going to bounce off these areas. Well, I mean, it's already there. The bounce actually already happened today, right there.
Came back up.
Yeah, price came back up, and I think it's just going to sit around this area. And then I think tomorrow when Powell speaks, it's probably going to push to the upside. I don't know if you use Powell as like any sort of news source, like when you were trading crypto, but like the memes of Powell, like he pumps the market. I still think it's true. So,
Yeah. When we
yeah,
used to trade crypto, we used to trade everything on. So it was based on the 6 hour, the 1 hour, and then the 3 minute. So it was all momentum trading pretty much. So if you had like confirmation on the 6 hour, 1 hour, like green with strong candles, and we use Heikin like on the 3 minutes, as soon as we had like a green momentum, we would just hit the trade and we just ride it up until we get like a red candle on the Heikin and we just exit.
Yeah, no, like with crypto, you could do that because like the momentum picks up, like, well, those are like classic pump and dumps. Like I started off trading like penny stocks, like when I
Yeah.
first trading, it's the same concept. It's just catching the momentum when prices swing up. The thing with
Mhm.
US 30 is that it's so regulated that the momentum pushes are like they're all made from institutions, so it's hard to like really cash it. And that's how I kind of came up with the theory of like trading opposite for everybody. Because
Mhm.
that way of trading that you used to trade with crypto, it works well with like a lot of things that are like not necessarily unregulated, but that are more open to like the user versus you know um institutions and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is better, so I don't have to sit on the chart all day.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a set time to trade, and then also that's not really going to go anywhere. It's not like
Yeah.
XRP that's going to disappear. Like
Yeah.
I remember like the guys that were trading with before, they were like so big on XRP, and then when that lawsuit hit, like they just disappeared. I haven't heard from those guys. And like,
They probably it's because they probably lost all their money.
oh yeah, no, for sure they did.
I
I had
mean,
a
it
lot
went
of
it
friends
went
that.
from $3 to like 12 cents.
Mhm. Yeah, that's crazy. Are you still in the crypto market?
No, not at all. I sold everything, and I'm just trying to focus on this now. And the thing is, like, I didn't know these prop firms were even a thing. So before I was just trading with all my own capital, and it's like you win or lose, you're like taking a big hit. So
Yeah, dude, it's huge risk. Like that's what I like about prop firms is that they kind of like a lot of people don't like like the restrictions they have, but I feel like it
mhm.
forces you like a professional trader. Like you can't be trading
Yeah,
buying and holding for like forever. Um,
yeah.
so
And
it
this
kind
gives
of
you literally like unlimited upside as long as you're consistent, and your downside is what, $1,000.
exactly,
So
yeah, $1,000. It's like, versus trading your own personal account, that thousand gets turned to 10,000 immediately, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's what's just so crazy. I'd like when I came on this, I was like, this is nuts. Like,
Yeah, well, when
but
I first like when FTMO first like started coming around, like nobody was trading it and nobody really knew about it. But when I heard about it, I was like, dude, this is like my fucking golden ticket, bro. I was like, I need this thing. So
yeah,
I gave it a shot and like, it's been a miracle, bro. It's been crazy. And then now they have all these other funding companies, which is, I mean, they're not as good, but they're decent enough to maybe use. And the copier too. I think the copier was like game changer, bro. Because before I had like one FTMO, and I was
yeah,
like, should have a bigger account. Now that we have these copiers, it's like you're literally trading one account, and everything it's like multiplies.
yeah.
So it's cool.
How long
Um,
have you been trading with the prop firms?
so FTMO, I started trading with them, I think in 2020. So it's been like 2, 3 years now.
Okay.
Wow.
But
MFF.
before that, was it all your own accounts?
Yeah, it was all personal. Is I would trade on like so it would be the broker I would use for Forex, which I still use now, is Forex.com. I always stick with regulated for Forex because I wanted like the tax documents. And then
Mhm.
for US 30, I could have traded futures, but I just traded with an unregulated broker. He goes away and can't go trade. I don't trade with him anymore because I filed my taxes like last year or the year before that. And it was just a
Mhm.
mess, dude, because like they don't give you any tax forms. So you have to document your trades. Like you can't just like say, okay, this is how much I made. You got to like literally document. I took this trade and this is how much I made per trade, like for that trade and stuff. And I had to pay like so much in back taxes that it was like not even worth it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, before that I was trading my personal funds, and it was risky. It was super risky because it was like very volatile. It was like during COVID, and
Mhm.
actually it was pre-COVID because COVID happened, and that's when these funding companies started coming around. But before that, I actually wasn't scalping. I was doing more so day trading and swing trading. So
Mhm.
it wasn't as scary. It was like less volatile, and I was trading a smaller account versus now. Like I think the most I got was like I had like 100K account, but I was risking
Mhm.
like 1%. So it was like not very much. It was a couple $100, versus now it's like a couple thousands per trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what other questions I have for you.
Yeah, no, I figured that usually happens with a lot of people. Like we'll have like one mentoring session the day before,
Yeah.
and like they don't even realize that like all the questions they had just got answered. And they're like,
Yeah. Because
and
I
then
usually hop on pretty much every single mentoring session. to just like go through it. So like you answer a lot of questions. Like when you message us like, oh, I'm gonna do private, whatever. I was like, oh, cool. But then I was like, oh, he answered everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many questions. I feel like with trade,
Yeah.
everyone has the same issue. You know, it's always like trade psychology, over trading,
Mhm.
revenge trading. I feel like the main thing that people will come to the sessions for are like for actually understanding the strategy. But it seems like you already have
Mhm.
it down and you have experience.
Yeah.
It's not like you're brand new.
Yeah. The strategies, I mean, they're pretty easy to pick up. It's just kind of like recognizing the patterns, but it's not bad. You make it easy with all your indicators. So it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm just blindly looking at stuff.
Yeah, like if I was to teach you guys this stuff without the indicators, like it'd be like impossible, dude. Because there's so much stuff to look at, and like in order for you to like see it, like if I was to, we had a plain chart here, like I'd have to teach you so many things to like see the high lows and stuff like that. And I think the momentum
Yeah.
is literally impossible because like me putting together that algorithm for the momentum was like
Mhm.
I've been working on this like since I started trading. So like I think it took me like over 5 years to get everything like perfect because I kind of just like
Yeah.
trial and error. It was like, okay, I'll add like I already had a system down, but then I was like, I need a signal to tell me when like everything gets hit. And that's how I,
Yeah.
yeah, but it makes things a whole lot easier.
Do you recommend? So, you're talking about like a different prop firm owners. Other than MFF and FTMO, is there any others that you hear people using with like somewhat success?
Um, so it's like hit or miss. Like there was one company that people mention all the time, it's called E8. Like
Hmm.
people say like, well, no, there's like a couple. Like there was like TFF, True Forex Funds.
Hmm.
Like everyone was like, oh, this is good. And then I did it and I passed. And then they put me on the real server and then it sucked. So
Yeah.
that was one that I for sure don't recommend. There's one that's called E8 that a lot of people have been talking about lately, but the
Yeah.
people that were talking about it before don't talk about it anymore. So I don't know if it's like, it was maybe good for like maybe a month and then
Yeah. And then it's gone.
it's either gone or well, they're still there, but I think the good things about it are no longer there. Because in the past it was like the spreads were too wide and the fees were too expensive. So it was like impossible for you to scalp. Like you could day trade on there and intraday
Hmm.
swing, but yeah, scalping like the way we trade is it's difficult to find a good um funding company or even just broker in general because the execution time you have to be like really spot on to execute. Like with FTMO, they have their own server, like their own like server that they have control of,
Hmm.
and they already have the capital. So I think like even if they weren't to copy someone's trade, they would still pay someone out, you know, because
Yeah.
they have the funds for it. But like a lot of these newer funding companies, they don't have the funds to like say they're supposed to copy a trade and then there's slippage and their copier doesn't copy the trader's trade, they're gonna have some excuse like, oh, we weren't able to copy your trade, and they're just not gonna pay you out because like our trades are so fast. Like you notice it, like it
Yeah.
happens in seconds sometimes, and that's a problem with having like a third party source, like having to copy your trade to another account. There's always going to be a
Hmm.
second differential there, and if the market's moving too quick, that's the difference between trade executing and trade not executing.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just trying to see, it's like once I max out FTMO and MFF, I was like, how many is like possible to keep adding to this? Like if you did 10 accounts or something, that would be nuts. Just like one trade, and like you're good. Like really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, there's so many funding companies out there, so I'm sure there are legitimate companies that you can scalp with. I just
Hmm.
really made the effort to venture out, right? Because I feel like I'm in this bubble right now where I'm like very comfortable with.
Hmm.
I don't feel like going and testing stuff out and then having it because I feel like if I test something out and then it doesn't work out, it kind of throws me off my game. Like because I'm like putting so much focus and being pissed off at the company for like kind of screwing me,
Yeah.
even though it's like $1,000, it's not a lot of money, but still, it's just like it just kind of messes my mindset. So like right now,
Yeah, for sure.
sticking with it. But I do have a list of prop firms that I could maybe share with you if you want to check them out. I would have
Yeah,
checked.
definitely.
Yeah, so I could probably forward them over to you if I could find them. Um,
But yeah, I'll focus on, I mean, I gotta pass FTMO first and
exactly.
foremost. So
Yeah, pass the FTMO and then just master that because other than that, it's like like I wouldn't even recommend MFF to people anymore unless like they really, really are ready to like add more accounts. Cause I mean you've seen my profits to do, they're like half profit. It like pisses me off, but it's like they're still paying out, so I'm okay with it. Like for example, today, I got like seven.
Yeah,
Like this stuff like really ticks me off. It's like, dude, I'm like consistent with you guys every single day, but it's always off. And
yeah.
it's, I mean it's still a profit, but it's
It's
like,
like 30% slippage on all of this.
yeah, and it adds up, dude. It's like I'm doing this every single day. You think about it,
Yeah,
I'm being like pretty much gypped. Uh,
yeah.
it's like, man, it's great. Like you think about like 300 bucks, like 300 bucks a day times 3 accounts, and then that's like, I don't know, I
20
take,
days a month.
yeah, 20 days a month, dude. That's like 18,000 right there, bro. I'm getting gypped. So I mean, as long as they pay out, we're cool. But I'm still getting gypped, so
Yeah,
it's it's still like, I don't know. It's hard to get mad at them because we're literally taking advantage of them by using
Mhm.
their service. But I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I think MFF would be number one first, and then a lot of people have been talking about the funded trader. I haven't used them before. They had a lot of issues a long time ago, but a lot
Mhm.
of people have been mentioning them lately. So maybe something I'll try out. One thing that you want to check out too is make sure that they allow copiers, because there's
Okay.
companies that don't allow copiers. So that's probably something to check out. But yeah, if I find that list, I'll send it over to you. One of the guys sent it to me, but I think he might have deleted it for some reason. I don't think he wanted me to like have the list with me like forever.
Okay.
Because he actually like tried these, like he paid for all these different firms and used our scalping to see which one worked. He had like a pretty good list too. I'll try to find it. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I don't know if you talked to Sisu. I know Sisu has a list of his own too.
I haven't talked to him at all.
Yeah, if you talk to Sisu, he's gonna be pretty intense when you talk to him.
Yeah. I'm trying to just, I don't know. I hop on, I listen to you. I'm trying to like just get a good sense of everything for myself before I bother other people, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because everything's extra, bro. You just, you have the foundation set. Once you have that set, then
Mhm.
I mean, you're pretty much cool for the most part. You just gotta rinse and repeat the process.
Yeah. That's what I kind of realized is just like day by day, it's the same thing. Just do it over and over again.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing. I try to tell people that, and they don't understand. They think that I'm like doing something different. But I'm like, bro, we're on the live session. Like, I can't do something different because we're literally doing this real time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, man, I don't know. uh, pretty
yeah.
much just like,
I was hoping some people would hop onto the public. I think people are watching the public stream, but they're just not. I think they think that they're not supposed to ask questions, so they're not asking anything. But
yeah,
like, people do ask questions. I just don't see anybody posting, but I do see people on it. So
tell them to ask some questions that they needed.
yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you guys are here on the public live stream, I know typically we don't have questions and the chat's usually closed off, but it's open, guys. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I know this is one-on-one with me, Daniel, but it's open to you guys. Hey, Barty, how's it going? Yeah, Barty says he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
seems like it
know.
doesn't matter. Like everyone that asks questions, like you see it over again. It's like it's always like a good review. It doesn't matter who asks it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't mind it because like that's why I like doing these mentoring sessions. Like people always ask me like, why do I keep doing this? Like Maddie, for example, he's like one of the guys that I mentored. He's actually mentoring people too. And he was like, he messaged me yesterday and was like, dude, I'm done mentoring. Like nobody takes this seriously. And he was so upset. But I was like, bro, no, keep mentoring because like people are gonna ask you dumb questions and they're gonna seem dumb, but like they're gonna force you to like reinforce your knowledge. That's why I like doing this because like people ask me, like you asked me about the breakout. I haven't looked at the
Mhm.
breakout in like maybe like 6 months or so, and
Mhm.
it's still a good strategy. And then it also ties in with liquidity too. So,
Yeah.
question it is like I've created so many strategies over the years where I still remember it. It's just I'm not used to applying it, but I'm always down to answer questions. Like it doesn't, it actually benefits me more than people realize.
Yeah. I'm looking at that 1 hour strategy that you guys been doing. And I was like, this is one of the strategies that looks like it's really easy to just create a bot to do.
Oh yeah.
So
No, my brother actually created a bot for it, but he's making some edits because he kind of did it differently. Um, Yeah, he created a bot and it's like it's super accurate. Like he did it on the 1 minute or the 1 hour,
Mhm.
and it had like an 88% win rate. And it's like taking every single trade. So
That's pretty good.
it's really good. Yeah. So he's making adjustments for me to the code. I'm actually learning the code myself behind script. Do you know how to code? Like some you're
Uh, I don't know how to code, but I have a bunch of friends. Pretty much, got this friend up in Seattle. That's like his primary business is finding companies that need help and connecting all the developers to do whatever big companies need.
oh
So
nice.
yeah, he's doing all kind of like Web3 development stuff right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, he moved up to Seattle last year and he's been crushing it up there. The Web3 development money right now is insane.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Everyone's trying to get into tech and develop algorithms and indicators and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I had like an original coder before, and honestly, I don't know what happened to him. Like I used to send him jobs, and he would like send it back to me, and then he just kind of disappeared. So like my brother's been coding for me, but he doesn't do it full time. So he's like doing other stuff and trading.
Yeah.
He'll get back to me when he can. So I'm learning PineScript right now, which is what we use for TradingView, which is actually
Hmm.
one of the easiest languages. So it's not really that difficult. So I'm trying to put together some scripts so that I can just automate all the strategies, or at least automate it to see how accurate they are. Because
Yeah.
like I'll automate like the V1 variation, then I'll just see what the winning percentile is for each specific time frame. So if it's good on the 1 minute, I'll play on the 1 minute. If it's better on like the 5 minute, then I'll do it on the five. And then from there I can just automate it. So that's
So once you have the prop firm started, if you can automate those things, you won't even need us.
I
You'll just
know
do it yourself.
you myself, and then pretty much just like well, so that's the thing. So like it's crazy. Like a lot of people are always like asking like why do I share my strategies? And the thing is like if I was working on these strategies by myself like over the years, it'd take me forever to like troubleshoot, right? So like now that we've been applying these strategies during the live sessions and people have access to it, it helps me troubleshoot because people ask me questions and I'm like, okay, that needs to be changed or this needs to be adjusted or we need a bias and stuff like that. And it helps me more because like these strategies wouldn't be as good unless I had people ask me questions or like basically talking shit about the strategy, It's like that's how it started. It started like originally we had one strategy and people would be like, oh, this doesn't work or whatever. I'm like, okay, so I made small adjustments and I added the trend to it and I added momentum and I added sessions and red flags and all that stuff. And it just, it's beneficial. It benefits all of us. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like you mentioned, once I automate it, I think it'll still be useful because people will still find errors with the strategy. And then
Yeah.
it's like it's basically like another set of eyes to see like when things need to be adjusted because the market's always changing. I'm sure you noticed over the
Mhm.
years. So like yeah, having like multiple sets of eyes on the strategy, even though it's like a pretty solid strategy, there's always room for improvement.
I wonder how like the start of like AI can like look at the market, see it's changing, and then change your strategies automatically as the market structure changes. I feel like that's going to come within the next couple of years.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Frank Dilo. He's like one of like the investors. I forgot what I think his firm is like Bridgewater or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, Frank Dilo, he's like one of like the most prominent traders in the world. He actually has a system like that. Like he's created his AI, and that's who makes like crazy amount of money. Like he would trade like commodities, and he would like have everything kind of tie in together. So like his AI would adjust based off like market conditions and stuff like that. So he kind of has a system in place, but nobody else has anything that could like compare it. But yeah, you're right. Once people start to like use AI to the next level, they can use like a bunch of different assets. But yeah, no, like AI is it's crazy because I've been reading like I think like after I got better at trading, I started just reading a lot of books about other like prominent traders and then just to get into their mindset. And it's crazy like the things that they've done that like people don't even know about. Like
Hmm.
AI's been around for trading for a long time, but people don't realize that like that's what all these big hedge funds and stuff use.
They got the money to back and build anything they want.
Yeah, but the thing with that is like, so with us being the small players, that's actually like more beneficial for us because they're causing the havoc in the market, and we're just like
Mhm.
we're just waiting for that like opportunity, in and out, right?
True.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out too. It's gonna take a lot like of machine learning though. Like even myself, I'm not even that good at coding, but hopefully I'll have somebody on the team that can do that eventually.
Yeah. Well, if you need some devs, let me know. I'll just call my friend John. He has the connections for like all those guys from like a lot of them are in Prague, the
Mhm.
developers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's where FTMO is located too.
Oh. Huh.
So they're based in Prague, yeah, they're based in Prague. Yeah, but I've seen, yeah, a lot of them are from there because one of my coders was from there as well. It's an interesting place to find coders and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if anybody hopped in the chat. Oh, so it looks like CJ. Barty's asking, when can we expect the market to pick up in volume? Volume will probably pick up like late September, early October, once the summer is over. I think the last day of summer is like September 22nd. So around that time, people come back to work or come back to trading. Let's see, Kevin says he has some input on prop firms for you. Started a new challenge with the Forex prop firm, has 3 funded accounts with Apex Trader. So yeah, I heard a lot about this one too. It's called Apex Trader. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a futures broker, so you can't really add it to your copier. You'd have to trade it separately. So maybe that's one that you can look into if you want to. But yeah, Apex Trader is one of the good ones that I've been hearing about lately for futures specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, and Kevin said that he can trade directly on TradingView with them using Trade So
Oh,
that's actually really cool.
yeah.
Actually, that's
I
really
could
yeah.
I
That's
could set trades on TradingView and use my MT4 for FTMO at the same time.
yeah, exactly. Like you just double click it, or you could have there's these things called it what there's this thing that you can do with webhooks where like you can execute a trade on TradingView and then it'll execute it on your MC4.
Okay.
So that's like one of the things that I started getting into the Pine Script coding with too, because I want to figure out to do that so I can trade directly on TradingView and then just have it copy over straight to to MT4 so I can still have my copier because I don't want to give up my copier. Like it's like that's why I base everything off FTMO. So I don't want to just go straight to like TradingView and not be able to use FTMO anymore. Or I'm hoping like FTMO in the future will just carry the TradingView platform, but I'm not too keen if that's going to happen because I feel like other funding companies have tried it. There's this one other company called they were called Search Trader. They actually they let you trade directly on TradingView before. They were similar to FTMO, but they don't allow it anymore. So I guess there's something that happened, or they changed their broker. So eventually they're gonna have to though, because everybody uses TradingView. So
Yeah.
I can't wait until MT4 just like disappears because this thing's such a like dated platform.
Yeah.
So
When you first had me download it, I was like, what is this?
yeah, bro, it looks like a Windows 95 computer. Windows 90
Yeah.
is so old. Let's see. Kevin says he also has FTMO, focuses mainly on his personal account with Hanko Trade and TD Ameritrade. Okay, yeah. So Kevin just has a bunch of accounts, but the main challenges he uses are Apex Trader and FTMO.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Eve in the chat said, I've tried TFF, MFF, FTMO, TFT. Each of them had their period of time where slippage was off, or they were each on some BS except for the funded trader. Okay, thanks, Eve. Yeah, so it looks like the funded trader, I've heard of that too. So they might be good. Maybe another one to add to your list. So it sounds like Apex, the funded trader, and MFF, of course, main ones to look at. Let's see, Kevin.
It's like I have a lot of work to do.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know for sure. But obviously, you want to focus on your FTMO first.
Yeah.
Eventually move over. Oh yeah, Kevin said that they have so Apex uses their own copier through Ninja Trader. That's like something one of our other traders uses too. His name is Arik. Because I saw he has like a ton of accounts, so I'm assuming like it's the same concept. Yeah, I don't remember where his account was, but so he has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 accounts. So you can do the same thing with Apex, but he has like a smaller account. They're like 50K each. And it's basically the same concept.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think those are all the questions in the chat. Yeah, thanks for the input, guys. We're kind of like running out of stuff to cover.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, if there's, I'm sure you're going to run into questions later. So if you ever have any questions at some point in the future, always feel free to reach out. I'll probably keep doing these one-on-one sessions for a while until I get tied up with coding and trying to get that prop firm started up. So we'll see. Hopefully,
What's your timeline on the prop firm?
Well, the guy that I work with, or that I'm probably going to partner up with, he already has a prop firm, so he has everything down already. It's really just getting down to the details of like how much capital I got to put in and everything out. But it's a lot of work. So, because I remember when he first started, well, he just started trading again. It's been like, I think, a year now. So he had stopped for a year just to run the prop firm, and he hated it because he wanted to trade. So the good thing is he has the systems down, so it's really just getting stuff together and then getting it set up. So hopefully by
so pretty much on that prop firm, like all the members can trade on the B side of it. Yeah, it'll be like just the same thing. It'll just be like a pay our whatever and do our challenge.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So yeah, basically the same thing. Obviously our stuff's gonna be a little different because he's gonna be running it slightly differently. Like he has bots that he runs, so he's gonna have something else where people can just put money in, and then his bot will give like a small percentage, like 1% gain or something like that monthly or something.
Sounds like all the crypto scams.
Oh,
put your money in and get a percent back.
No, exactly. Yeah. And that's why, like, for me, I'm not necessarily, I don't know if I want to put in the work to actually start something. I'm just going to partner and then I'm going to use their systems to run my own side, which is totally different. So that's why I don't want to like tie it in together too much. It's more so just me partnering with someone to use their systems because I don't want to necessarily do everything myself because that's just too much work. And I'm not trying to do all that.
Yeah. To build from scratch is a lot of work.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to do like we said earlier, I'm trying to do the bare minimum, bro. I want to work for like less than an hour a day and do whatever I want.
And go golfing.
Go golfing. That's literally it. Yeah. Man, it's getting hot. It's like today's super hot. It's like 80 degrees. So I'm like, I should get golfing before it gets too hot outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the weather out there right now? It's getting hot?
Yeah, actually this week cooled down a lot. It's only like 65 degrees today. So it's been like 80s last week and then it dropped down. It's supposed to warm up again at the end of the week, but yeah, golfing's been really nice up here. It's like perfect weather right now.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's super hot today. It's like 80, but it's like dry 80. So we'll see. It's summer. So the weather here is weird. It's like you can be cold and then super hot like a couple hours later.
Yeah, definitely. Just gotta get the early tea time, but those are always the most expensive ones.
Oh, I know, right? Tea times.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, if there's any other questions, dude, let me know. Otherwise, in the
I
future,
appreciate it, man.
have anything else left over, we can cover it. It's just gonna, you'll come up with stuff over time.
Yeah. I think as eventually as time goes by and I pass some challenges and stuff, I'll have more questions on things. But I think of now is like everything gets covered pretty much daily. And so
yeah, no, for sure, dude. All right, man. So yeah, it's good talking.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's anything else, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you back here.